Hello, 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 hello. Hello. Okay, I have some music playing on my end that you won't hear. I need to find out where it is so I can mute it. There we go. Okay. Hi, everyone. Right. Let's get this all set up nicely. I need to get my camera on so you can see, hopefully, my keyboard and stuff. Let's see if that's working. It's always a bit ramshackle at the start of these streams, so bear with me. Bear with me. Okay, it looks vaguely like should be able to see the keyboard. Hello everyone, if you are new to one of these streams, then welcome. Today we're going to write some elven-inspired music. So, let me get the stream up so I can see if anyone chats. Okay, please feel free to say hello, introduce yourself in the chat so I know you're here, and have a listen to the music. The first and most important thing right now is for you to let me know if there's any imbalance between the volume of my microphone and the volume of the music, or anything like that generally, really. So, let's take a listen and see what we manage. I'm just gonna go get some water, so enjoy the music. Right, so that's what I've got so far. I like it. It's this is actually part of a collaboration that I'm doing with another composer, another map maker. So they've got this cool kind of like elven dungeon thing going on with this like ancient tree that's corrupting all the elves. So I kind of wanted to go for something that's got like a slightly sinister feel to it, whilst remaining, still somewhat kind of nice and magical and elven. Alright, so gotta figure out where to go next with this track. So hopefully you can hear the music. If you can't hear the music, please do urgently let me know, because that's bad. Alright. I think so. We've had this section at the start, which has basically been this same kind of pad underneath that's been playing these kind of slightly weird sounds. I wonder if I can take this same pad and just move it a bit higher up the keyboard for some even more weird sounds. Where are we? There we go. Ooh, very weird. Oh, say hello to Mr. Hare. Mr. Hare says hello. Hi. He's right here. He's currently laying erotically over the keyboard, as he likes to do. So what's the last chord I left on? What I don't want to do is to make it too repetitive where the entire track is just these chords swelling in and out, in and out, in and out. So maybe we'll try something a bit different in the next section. weird elven stuff. We've got a couple more people here, so hello, welcome. So if you are new to these things, basically you get to watch me desperately attempt to write music for an hour or two. It's basically how it goes. Usually I come out with something vaguely interesting at the end of it. So I'm just trying to find some good kind of a new pattern for this kind of pad to play. I like that to start with. Okay, so I'm gonna write this little bit that I just did in, which is kind of like this. Maybe we can have it fade for a while and then come in. And then maybe even go back to the. Right, whatever I wrote then was cool, so I'm just gonna make it appear. As if by magic, as if I was recording that entire time when I really wasn't. Devious. Very devious. Okay. The chat is awfully quiet today. Everyone's very reserved. It's kind of eerie. So, please, say hello. Put me out of my misery. Ooh, what was that noise? Was that me? Did I just make that noise? Let's hope that wasn't me. It sounded like a weird sort of burping noise, and it came as if from nowhere. Okay. Let's do this. I've got my chords. I just need to record them in. With a nice little click. Everyone loves a good click track to add to the mood of any situation. Cool. Yeah, that sounded pretty nice. I made one little mistake in there, but I can easily fix that by just going boop boop boop. All right, let's have a little listen to that. I think it was a little bit loud at times, a little bit like ear piercing, but good. Hey Chris, welcome. I think yeah, you're new here, so that's really cool. It's nice to get some new faces around. I've been writing like tabletop RPG music for the past year or so, but generally as a kind of working composer I've been working since maths. I have to do maths now. So I would have been 21 when I finished university, and I had my first sort of paid gig then. And now I'm 28, I think. Question mark. So 7 years. Or just over 7 years. But the whole tabletop RPG music is kind of more of a recent thing, but it's probably my favorite thing I've done. I really enjoy writing this kind of music. Yeah, this is kind of nice and eerie, and it does create a nice contrast to the previous section because it's a bit higher up. And maybe a bit more like obviously darker, whereas the first section has some like lighter elements. So the theme I'm going for is like elven beauty, but corrupted. Nice. Okay, so we need some other elements to add on top of that kind of underneath sound. So, by the way, if anyone watching knows anyone that you think might be interested in kind of seeing how some of this music gets made, or is just a really big fan of like tabletop role-playing games, feel free to send a link over to them. It's always good to get new people interested, and often you don't really see what goes on, like how people actually write music. It's kind of like a hidden away process a lot of the time, unless it's like EDM. There's a lot of people who do like EDM music and stuff. Jeff, I did sing that part myself. It's I have a beautiful singing voice that sounds almost exactly like a sample library that I own. So thanks, thank you for that. Jeff is a friend of mine, though not for much longer, I think. I think we might have to rid ourselves of him. So I have this really nice little piano part. This really cool piano thing called Noir. And the cool thing about Noir is you can play it like an ordinary piano where it just plays like the chords. But you can also add it to this particles engine that kind of does this weird like pattern based on the notes you were playing. Okay, let's have a little mess around here. And see how this sounds. Might be interesting for the piano to go lower at the same time that the vocal part goes higher. Yeah, I like that. That's nice. Okay, so that's cool. We've got kind of like the base background elements now. So now we probably need something a bit more to the forefront. So in the previous section, I've had this nice little thing going on, this like high-pitched strings that I really like. So I want to keep the same effects that I've got on that, because I've got a few effects on that kind of give it that really eerie sound, but I think I want a different actual tone for this next section. Maybe like a flute. A flute could work quite nice. Let's have a look, see what we've got flute-wise. Hello, Hannah. Always nice to see you here. Yeah, it's kind of Rivendell-esque, but with like Rivendell, but with a slightly darker feel, like haunted Rivendell. I don't know. Like Elrond's having a really bad hair day, and he's ruining everyone else's time, and everyone's a little bit on edge. That's the kind of Rivendell that we're going for. Okay, let's go high woodwinds and look for. Let's have a listen to this. Not quite. I want something where it kind of comes in and out a little bit more. It's a bit ear piercing. Sorry. I need to make it so it fades up from silence, which is something you kind of have to edit in yourself with these. Not quite what I was hoping for. Let's try this one. Sorry, I need to turn the volume down each time because it's quite loud. That's nice. That's got like that kind of like coming in and out feel to it. So I think that's nice, but I want to combine it with something else. It's a little bit empty on its own. Yeah, an abandoned elven stronghold in the middle of a forest is kind of really, yeah, that's like a really good kind of idea of what this track is trying to do. So this track is actually part of a collaboration with a map maker, the Goblin Explorer, who I've worked with before, who I think he's a he. I think his map is it's like a dungeon. He does these dungeon maps, but his is like this layer that he's doing now of his dungeon is like one where elves used to reside, and now there's like this weird corrupt tree that is like corrupting all the elves. And so the idea is we're kind of getting that beautiful elven vibe, but with like a little bit of a weird, slightly sinister edge to it. I don't even know if sinister is the right word, but there's just something slightly unsettling. Okay. Alto flute multiphonics, that might work. So we've combined these two sounds together. Yeah, that's really nice. I love that kind of sound. So just so you can hear this new thing I've added on its own, it's this sound. Which is, I think, when someone is kind of like playing a flute, but they're like overblowing it, like they're blowing a bit hard into it so that it makes this weird like overtone sounds. Don't anyone think anything dirty about what I just said. That was an entirely PG comment. Okay. Yeah, haunting. Haunting's the perfect word. Yeah, I need to figure out what I want this to be doing. See, I'm not really caught up with Critical Role at the moment, so... former elven city in the middle of a now cursed forest. Is that from the new campaign, or is that something from the old campaign? Because I'm a little bit behind. I'm quite a lot behind, actually. Hey, Matthew. Or Matt, sorry. I realise who you are. I know you! Chaotic harp and abyssal panpipes, please. Well, we've kind of got... not quite panpipes. These are pretty... abyssal, maybe? Alright, let's have a mess around. Yeah, something isn't quite working about this little thing I've added on top, actually. I think maybe it's too similar to the choir that we've already got. But what I might do is I might space out these chord movements a little bit more, just so that we've got some time where the melody can kind of play in between, as opposed to playing on top of like the main stuff that's going on with these chords. Let's just space these out just a little. Make them kind of fade down as much as they can. And we'll extend out the piano part as well, just so that keeps playing. All right, now let's have another crack at this. So now we wait for the gap, and now we come in with a melody, maybe. That wasn't quite the right notes, but we're getting there. Just need to do a bit of messing around. Okay, I've realised there needs to be another bar of sort of silence. Not silence, but another like bar's gap before new stuff comes in. There you go, you get the first bit of my beautiful singing. La 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 la. Alright. Alright, I think I've got it. So it's like, what was it that I just played? I really liked what I just played. Okay, let's try it. Okay, almost. We're getting there. However, what I've realised I probably need is like an actual flute that's playing more of a what you call legato, where you can really hear the transition from one note to the other, so it doesn't sound so like ba 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 ba. We want like ba. In fact, we could even have some strings instead of a flute, so we're not overwhelming the sound with string sounds. So let's add in some mid-level strings. Okay, so they're way too loud. But we can turn them down. We just want them in the background. Alright, getting there, getting there. The annoying thing is I forgot to press record then. But it's fine, I have a secret solution to that problem. My kid Zach and Leon are listening along at home. Ghostly elven voice synth. Yeah, we might have some weird vocal stuff coming in a bit, actually. I think that might be a good idea. So, good call, Zach. I think you're onto the right track. I like the fact that that's ever so slightly out of time. Like, that was a mistake, really, on my part. You know, having it slightly off the beat, but I quite like it. Ooh, it's cold. Cold in this room. What happened to spring? Okay. So the annoying thing about this this instrument is that it actually comes in like a beat after it plays, which is somewhat irritating because it means that if I start playing here on the bar, it actually sounds slightly out of time, so I always have to remember to just start playing just before the start of the bar. There we go. You know, I said a moment ago I liked that it was slightly out of time. I've changed my mind. I've immediately changed my mind. So let's get it back into time. And a little bit of overlap between the notes. And I might slightly turn down the alto flute, which is the loudest of the bunch. How does that compare volume-wise to what we've had before? So we've got these strings that we had earlier. Yeah, I think it's a good comparison. Maybe a touch quiet. Let's just boost each of the things up a little bit. So you can be a bit louder alto flute, you can be a bit louder high woodwinds, and you can be a little bit louder strings. Alright, enough messing around with this tiny little bit. Let's have another listen and then we'll write the next little melody section. So we want this to fade out to silence, really. So I'm gonna open another little automation thingy-mabobby and just tell it to go zoop down to silence, please. Alright, let's have another listen. Okay, good. Finally got it there. Someone's making a very loud noise outside. I don't know if you can hear that. See, this is the bit where I go quiet because I'm just trying to sort of figure out exactly the notes that I want to use. So what's my chord that I'm playing here? It's like, what is it? It's... Okay, whatever I played in then was mostly fine. So let's take that. Just gonna move some of this MIDI automation stuff. Yeah. Thanks, Hannah. Glad you're liking it so far. Me too. And the cool thing is with these kind of tracks is that, look, I'm already over 2 minutes in. So it's really easy to write a good length track. So I'll definitely make this a bit of a longer track than normal. Though I don't want to overpromise that because I might run out of steam. But yeah, the last couple of tracks I've done have been under 2 minutes, which is something I like to avoid usually, but they've been very kind of heavy in the orchestration and stuff. Hello, Matsikny. Today we are doing kind of like a weird elven-inspired track, but with a slightly sinister twist. So it's like the beauty of the elves, but kind of slightly corrupted. Which seems like as good a time as any to listen from the start of the track, just to get a feeling as to where we are. So let's have a listen from the beginning. Sorry about squeaky chair. Okay, that's kind of about as far as we've got. Chris asks, out of curiosity, what DAW are you using? Which means digital audio workstation, which is like the software I'm using basically. And why did I choose it? So I'm using Cubase, and the reason I chose it is, well, for one, it was the first DAW that I ever used. I used it in school when I first sort of was taught, writing music. And I then switched to something called Reason for a while because it was, well, my brother had like a pirate copy of it. I don't endorse piracy normally. I was a kid, it was there, and it did get me into writing more music. So I used that for a while, but eventually I came back to Cubase because Cubase has got really nice MIDI functionality. So MIDI is basically all the notes that I'm writing here and all this automation that I'm drawing here. Cubase handles that really nicely. It's got this really nice inline editor here where I can edit the MIDI notes without going to a separate page, which other things like Logic don't have. And I mean, I think with DAWs though, usually it's just whatever you're familiar with that is the best tool for you. Like, it might be that objectively one DAW is better at certain things than others, and if you have the time to learn that new DAW, then go for it. But for the most part, I think it's just what you're most comfortable with, and I'm just really comfortable with Cubase. It does basically everything that I want, for the most part. There's a few little issues that I have, but they're pretty minor. Okay, I might change one of the notes here on this melody. I don't think I have a good theremin sound. I might have some things that are kind of a bit like that, but I don't think I have an actual like proper theremin sound. I might be able to get some kind of weird synth in there at some point. Maybe I'll couple that with some vocals for the next section. But yeah, I don't think I have a normal theremin. But I think that could work with a lot of reverb and effects. So here's where we add all of our weird, creepy noises. Yeah, that's the right moment for it. I love all this stuff. It's just like bowed cymbals and gongs and things. Very eerie, unusual. It's a little bit loud, but that's okay. I'm going to add a few more elements to this section just to fill it out because it's a little bit empty at the moment. But I'm just getting the basics down so we can kind of, get the basics down of the section, then go back and refine some elements. So I've had these two lots of this kind of instrument here. So I think then for the second half of this section, so it doesn't become too repetitive, we should change to a new instrument. I'm going to keep it in the same kind of channel, so I've got the same weird effects on it. But yeah, maybe we'll look for some vocals. I do have a nice kind of vocal sound. A little bit loud. But I think if we couple that with some other stuff, that might work nicely. Let's go for some strings. And just see how that sounds. Maybe not those strings. High strings. Very slow tremolos, that might work. I'm not sure it's weird enough. We want more weird stuff. What else could we have? I think we are. I can't remember if I'm already using this one. Tremolo burst before. Alright, let's go swell. So they just had the strings that have like random swells at strange moments. I want another vocal sound to layer on top of this one that's a little less traditional. Because at the moment the vocals that we've got there, yeah, they're nice, but they're a bit like too perfect and happy and nice. So we want something a little bit odd, if possible. So let's add in... If you can hear these on their own, these are really weird. Almost sounds like an alien. It's very strange, but I like it. Weird. So we can probably turn that up a little bit, slightly turn down the strings. Interesting. Work on that a bit more. One issue I have with this vocal thing that I'm using, the normal voice, is it's very low pitched for a female voice, which makes it hard to do higher up lines. That worked nicely. I might change some of the elements in this sound. I'm not sure if that weird extra choir element that I added on is maybe a little bit much. I might turn that down in volume and maybe add something else. Or maybe I'll make the violins play like an octave higher. Why is that third note not playing? Let's have a listen to that. Yeah, I like that because it brings back some of, even though it's a weird sound, but the actual notes it's playing are quite positive, which makes this kind of weird contrast between like the nice stuff and the weird stuff. Right, I'm going to listen from the start of this section again. Yeah, something like that works. Again, I'm still second guessing myself on this particular sound. Let me try turn that weird choir noise down an octave. I can still hear it at that level. I watched one of the streams back, that live streams that I did, or a few minutes of it anyway, and I noticed I do some really weird things with my mouth when I'm kind of in the middle of composing. There's a lot of like this going on, like. So I'm very sorry. I have to just sincerely apologise to anyone watching if you have to watch my weird kind of twitchy mouth movements, as all my energy is just in my head and nothing is on what my face is doing. So apologies in advance for what you're about to see. Okay. Yeah, that works nicer. That definitely works nicer. The yucca's okay. Yeah, it's surviving. It's just fact. Oh, I don't know. My desk is very messy. I don't know if I want to show you what's all the stuff going on. You know what? I might give you. Shall I give you a little tour? So, just for context, in one of the previous streams that I did, I had this yucca plant beside me, and then I just put it there at the start of the stream because I thought, oh, this will look quite nice there, you know, it'll be like a cool thing, you know, a bit of nature in the background of the video. And then within about 10 minutes I knocked it over, and Tasha, my girlfriend, was watching at the time downstairs, so she's very protective of her plants. So yeah, I'm surprised I didn't get into more trouble for that. Okay, I'm gonna give you a quick glimpse at the yucca plant to show you it is still alive. I may black out the camera momentarily because of how awful my desk is. Let me make this a bit bigger. Ooh, that's my finger you're looking at. You're looking directly into my finger. Alright. Look. It's alive! It lives! It's now providing terrain for my my collection of Warhammer miniatures. Woo! And it's got some friends. See, I look after my plants very carefully now. Very carefully. I say my plants. I look after the plants very carefully. Because if I don't, I will be murdered. Okay. Let's make this small again. Right, let's carry on. Ukulele. I forgot about that. Yeah, I need to remember that's what its name is. Ukulele. Maybe I'll bring it on for a guest appearance on the next stream. But I don't want to take away from Mr. Hare's kind of glory on today's stream. He'll be jealous. Slightly turn on the volume of that melody line. Mr. Hare is a great guest. He's just chilling out, having a good time, getting in the way of my keyboard controls. But I don't mind, because I never use those anyway. Yeah, I bought this lovely keyboard. To be fair, the only time I do actually use these little knobs and levers and stuff when I do my iPad stuff. In fact, I've been meaning to do a live stream at some point showing off writing some music on the iPad, which is where a couple of my recent tracks were written. Very different way of writing music, but also very enjoyable. Okay, I think we've kind of got this section nailed in terms of the overall thing, so I just want to add some more weird effects to it. Some more of this stuff, like creepy rises. At the start of each chord change. Black metal chaotic Eladrin. I thought Eladrin were like the the nice friendly elves. Or was that like wood elves? I don't know. I've been outside of like Forgotten Realms lore for so long, I don't know, I don't remember any of it. Ooh, weird. Let's find a good place for this little... Hey Chris, nice to have you here. Hope you're enjoying listening, and thanks for the nice words. This track's actually going to get released later today, because myself and the Goblin Explorer are both going to post kind of simultaneously. So for you Patreon folks, you'll get some nice high-res maps from him. It's the map collection for my music Patreon is actually growing quite quick. So if you join my Patreon, you also get a whole bunch of maps, which is kind of cool. It wasn't my intent when I first started this, but people like collaborating, and collaborating is so much fun, and that means patrons get loads of little freebies. So if you are a patron and you're watching, have a look at the description and follow the link, and you'll see all the goodies that you're missing out on. But it's also fine if you just wanna watch and enjoy and not worry about that side of it. Okay, I'm just moving the screen around. That whole time, I literally was just moving the screen around with no purpose. Just like, as if that's going to make the track continue. I'm just like, I'll keep moving the screen. Alright. Weird. Excuse me. Okay, let's find an appropriate place for that. That was very loud. That was not as loud as I intended it to be. Let's try again. What's really handy, actually, and it's a complete coincidence, is that some of these kind of weird notes that the bowed cymbals and gongs are playing happen to be the exact same notes in the track, which is really weird because they're not designed to be like pitched notes that are like you're supposed to play. I'm just playing them randomly on the keyboard and it just makes noises. They're not corresponding to the notes that I'm pressing. But yeah, if you listen to this third note here, it's like the same note that this thing plays. That is a nice little cool coincidence. I like that. Just little things that make me happy. That's weird, I like that. Very weird. Okay. From the top. Always good to go back and listen to what we've got so far, just to make sure everything's kind of fitting in nicely together. Let's have a listen. Really liking this so far. The trouble is when I really like something, is I then have no idea where to go with it next. Alright, this is where I throw it to you guys. You've just listened to the track kind of all the way through so far. I would love to know in your head where you kind of imagine it going next. Something kind of thicker, more going on, or even more stripped back. Something a bit more positive and light again, a bit like the opening. Or continue kind of descending into more of a sinister vibe. I'll play this last section again, just so you can hear it again, and like focus on what you would kind of imagine hearing next. But yeah, just let me know, because it's really helpful. I get really stuck sometimes. So I'm just going to have a little play through again, and let me know what you imagine coming next. So that's what I've got so far. Yeah, I'm struggling. I'm struggling to know exactly where to take it now. Tricky. I'm just ensuring that this instrument kind of fades out nicely. Yeah, if anyone has any ideas, I mean, no worries if not. But if anyone does kind of like listen to that and imagine where it goes next, let me know. That could work, something a bit more lower pitched. Yeah, I think something that would let this like low piano kind of stand out would be nice. Okay, let's try something like that. So if we go from here. Okay, yeah, maybe something like that, where it just strips back a little bit. It is going to be a track that like should be able to loop back on itself fairly well, especially for the sort of the version that I'll format that way. So I don't want to have too many like sudden mood shifts, but I think this fits nicely. Yeah, it's a good suggestion, Hannah. Yeah. back, remind ourselves where we've come from. Make sure it's not too low pitched, otherwise it sort of starts to become difficult to hear what's going on. Yeah, I like it. It's just a bit, I wonder if it's a bit quiet, a little bit low pitched. But I do like the fact that it goes to that more low pitched kind of element. So maybe it's fine. Maybe if I just introduce something more higher pitched into it. Like I might go back to this original sound. Tell I'm in focus mode because I've gone very quiet. This is what happens eventually. I just get sort of a bit locked in. thanks for stopping by, Hannah. Always nice to have your company on these things. Have a great day, and I'll see you probably at the next one. Yeah, I think I might actually stop the live stream here, actually, because I'm getting pretty hungry. That's always what stops it. I think we made some really good progress. Like, we're already, like, almost 3 minutes in to the track. So this could end up being a fairly long track. Should be able to get it finished within the next couple of hours. And then it will be released this evening. So look forward to that. And for those people who are supporting me on Patreon, you'll also get a high-resolution map with a bunch of different variants from the Goblin Explorer. And be sure to check out some of my other recent music tracks, because they also, for Patreons, come with maps from other Patreon support. They also come with maps from other Patreon creators. So yeah, thanks for hanging out with me, and I will see you at the next one. Bye. Bye.